stop training right now. There's no time to get hurt. I was snatching, and pretty heavy snatches right in a row, and I dropped one, and I immediately felt like a unsteadiness in my back. And I felt that before, and I didn't do anything about it that time. And by the end of the night, I was like in so much pain, I couldn't even get out of my bed without someone helping me. So this time I was like, oh no, like, did that just happen again? I knew I'd eventually be okay. I was worried about all the time I was gonna waste trying to make it better. You know? I was like, crap, I don't have time for this right now. Feels like it just slowly sinks in and just like freezes your muscles. I always leave here relaxed, and I can tell my nervous system's like super calm, and I'm just like,
go ahead, you're right
recovery
there.
pretty much. It sends me into that recovery state so my body can start repairing itself. And it's just what I needed. Well, they don't have to be sweet potatoes, they could be regular potatoes.
Right.
I can even do white rice right after training. Friday I came back and did like so much. I mean, Mike was like asking me if I was okay. I lied. I lied because I was able to get through it and I was fine. And I didn't want to have to stop and take more days off. And then I did more stuff that day, and I did stuff the next day. That's what it takes. You gotta do thousands of hours of training for one little moment of happiness.
Based upon our relationship that we've developed in the past 3 years, when I have conversations with Tennil, I can really read her well. You know, you see her after doing a couple of squats and she's got a little nagging pain in the same spot that she had, 2 days previously. And ultimately it's like, okay, I asked her if she's doing okay, and come to find out she was probably a little past what I had originally thought that she was in terms of recovered. The biggest thing to realize is that athletes are athletes. So in general, we try to create a clear line of communication so they feel comfortable with us in telling, essentially anything, right? Injury, life, you look back on it and you really just see that she's being an athlete, and she knows specifically what it takes to be a CrossFit Games competitor, and that is continuing to be consistent with training. So the rest of the entire weekend was developed so that she stayed confident. She ensured that she did things that she enjoyed. She also was really good at, that didn't challenge her brain too much. And at the end of the weekend, and now moving into this week, she's actually doing way more, twice the amount, I would say, that she was doing previously. You can just see that. So based upon her perception of what took place, is like, okay, I got an injury, but now I'm more confident. As you develop confidence in an athlete, those pains and those nagging injuries seem to go away.
This week is like my heaviest volume week that I'll have before the games. I think I've felt worse before. I mean, I'm not saying the training's not hard. I feel like everything else is more controlled, and I just have to focus on that, so it makes it seem not as hard. But I feel confident, for sure. I'm definitely in the best shape I've ever been in, so that should be comforting. But it's hard. It's really hard for me to say, I'm gonna win, because you never know what's gonna happen. But I want to win. I can say that confidently. Like, I want to win, and I feel like, I have a chance to win. Everyone has a chance, but I know that I'm gonna try my hardest to do it.
So she PR'd her jerk double. I use it for a couple reasons. First, it's a very good nervous system test just to see where she's at. The jerk is very dynamic in nature, so it allows someone to see, okay, are they coordinated? Can they lift a heavy load? obviously it was good. You know, she PR'd, I think it was 246 or so, 252 for a double, which for her shows right now how she's doing. You know, I can visually see it, but we also like to use data, right, to get a real score to say, okay, that's, you know, 5 to 7 pounds better than she did in a month. She did 5 weeks ago in training. So that in itself, based upon the overall intensity that's required, is a good sign for us in the overall training build. It also goes to show how fucking resilient she is. You know, my assessment of where she sits is a fantastic one. She's done the work, she deserves it. There's no one, you know, more deserving right now that I feel in the sport. She's committed, lifestyle is there. Like, there's not many people that are willing to dedicate what she does every single day to actually be successful, right? When you align things and you're able to commit, then I think that's what her story is all about. Right?
Love the burn. Let me ask you something. Do these look bigger to you? They feel bigger. They feel bigger.
We're really excited to be able to offer Tennil our first ever athlete sponsorship. For the sport of fitness, because it's new, it's pretty big when an athlete is actually being sponsored. And we don't mean just a free box of recovery drink, etc., right? It doesn't mean that. That means they're getting paid to do exactly what they do, and we want them to see that being an athlete should look this way. Because people forget how important training in this style of life is to them. People sacrifice everything, right? They put it all on the line to be able to train for 3 hours a day. And when people look at them and they say, you're fucking nuts, right? Which is so funny to us, and we're like, yeah, these people are crazy, but it's what they are inspired to do. And I think that as a coach is what is inspiring for me to support. And I think that's what OPEX as a brand wants to support, is the ability to have these individuals be able to do what they do best every single day and not have to go anywhere else other than to the gym and home to sleep.